Okay, so they talk about the pastor at the church who's
Right.
the one who made the report. I mean, is there a world? I can't imagine a world where a pastor like, oh, this pastor's out to get me. Like I feel like as someone who associated with the church,
No, I wouldn't. I
there's
wouldn't assume. I wouldn't assume that about the pastor. I
that
would.
would
I
be
think that sounds kind of like crazy
they're above
conspiracy talk.
they're above. I feel like a petty. Like I
Per-
doubt a pastor's like, oh, I can't stand this
So,
person or that
so what
person.
they mentioned how the pastor said that four people came over to him and had concerns about the Rekieta family, right, and about the way they're dealing with their kids. And some of the things they threw in there was that they have this relationship with the Imholtz, right? Which that sounds like a morality question, not a legal question, right? I mean, but I guess perhaps the environment that they might be creating for their kids or something of that nature, whatever it is. I want to ask you, Chrissy, those four people. You think they came as a group to the pastor, or you think they came one by one?
I would think one by one.
Right. That's what you're assuming.
That's what I would imagine if it's happening organically, uh, but, I feel like a bunch of people have to talk, uh, I think in order for 4 people to come forward, right? Because they all have to decide, we're
Well, then we need to
we're
rat out our fellow parishioner, right?
yeah. Like, who could we yeah. I mean, if you are seeing somebody acting really squirrely in church and they're it's funny, I was in church on Christmas Eve and there were kids in shorts and I was like, "Who can I talk to about this?" I'm like, "These kids are here in shorts." I'm like, "It's freaking." I I was, like, so distracted. I couldn't get past it that all the 3 kids were,
Right.
like, wearing shorts, but,
So I want to be clear. I'm not on board with saying there's a conspiracy here. I don't think there's a whole like I don't think there are people out. I mean, I know there are people out to get Nick, but that's in the social media world. I'm not assuming that in his town there are people out to get him, right? And like that's the that I'm not I don't think that's the
yeah, I've never
genesis of
lived
this.
in a small town, but is it possible that these people talked in advance and then went as a group to the pastor? Like, would that do
Does
something?
that feel inorganic to you?
That does feel inorganic. That feels like they all planned to do it. Whereas if they come
Like
up
they're like
one
we
by
don't
one, they're like, "Oh, I just sort of noticed, this guy looks funny."
right
It
or
seems
maybe
more organic to me one by one.
or perhaps that they're passing judgment on him on a moral basis and now trying to like basically hype up that like this guy's a bad guy, he's a bad influence on his kids. We need to get his kids away from him because he's basically having this uncomfortable what they presume to be sexual relationship with the Imholtz. So it's like and so we have this so this whole thing is weird
But
to
how
us.
do the church
I
people
don't know.
know? How do the church people even know about the Imholtz? I don't think all the whole gang is going to church. I don't think it's like, "Hey, we'll have a nice little Sunday, we'll go to church, then we'll jump in the hot tub, then we'll do some coke." Like, I don't think they're all
I don't know. Maybe April
who
came to
knows?
church.
Yeah, who knows? That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look like I personally I don't understand the whole relationship there. I don't
You
understand
know
anything about
right, the
what
chat's saying
happened there with the Imholtz.
the chat is
None of
reminding
it
me, yeah, there are hot tub streams. So is it possible the churchgoers go, "All right, we started looking at Nick's content. We
right.
saw the hot tub stream. We
And we're
saw the
grossed
stream.
out and
We saw
we're
the stream
angry.
where he's out of sorts and he's like looking bad, possibly masturbating. We saw that whole stream. Um, yeah, we're concerned."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I like I said, I think it's very possible that they basically I don't know or look maybe they went up maybe the kids are going around to everyone in church saying I'm hungry. Maybe that happened. I don't
Maybe
I
the
don't
kids are
know.
going
That's
around
possible.
eating all of the, what do you call it? The crackers.
Yeah, maybe they have some sort of communal plate there with
Like,
snacks, and the kids are loading up their pockets, and everyone's like,
yeah.
"Whoa,
Any
whoa,
more
get
of
some
these
food at
you
home."
got any more sleeves of these crackers? We're fucking starving. Um,
I don't know. Like how does anyone know? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Nick is at home, beating his kids. I don't know. Maybe he is. I'm just saying. I wouldn't. I don't jump to that assumption. People
right.
want to. If you want to jump to that assumption, it's a very easy assumption to make. That basically he's at home like Tony Montana there with at the end, and he's basically got his big stash of coke, and he's nodding off and falling into it, and then going on stream, and that he's basically cursing at his kids, going, "Get the F away from me! You know not to bother me when I'm busy." When I'm busy relaxing here, and Kayla's sitting, and and the Imholtz are in there, all of them giving head to the Pope. Maybe that's what the image that I get from people,
Yeah.
some people in chat, that's what they think is actually happening there. I have a hard time actually believing that that's like reality, but I don't know that's not true. I'm
One
not
of
there.
my friends put in our private chat a video. This is going around Twitter, a video of the church. You only see the backs of their heads, but April may be there at church with the family.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Okay, wow.
You want to pull that up because
That is
there's basically
so wild to me. I've never thought in all my years of hooking up with people have I ever thought to go to church with anybody.
that is
Uh,
weird. That is weird to me also. Not going to kid you.
Footage of Rekieta at church days before the God, it's so funny looking at church footage. Jeez, before the search warrant was
You got to make
issued,
that big.
you can
Make that enlarged.
make it. That's what she said.
So,
Wait, I have to read it. Okay, you can see he's shaking uncontrollably. In his row appears to be two children, two women. It's being speculated. April is on the far right. Did Nick bring his mistress into the house of God? Oh boy.
so they're basically saying
They're
that in
saying
that
this
row,
is
that's Nick, and on the opposite end of that bench they're saying is April.
Oh, so they're taking up a whole bench?
Well,
Wow.
if he's got a bunch of
Are
kids there,
impacted by the service of these people. Would you stand up, please?
Wow, it feels
If
so
you're a
weird to
family
watch
with
this.
kids and kids, you are
yeah.
impacted by the
So people
service
are
of
making
these people.
comments about him shaking his leg or something like that. That he's got the
That could just
shakes.
be like, I'm bored at church. Who knows, right? Like when you see this many drugs, you're like, you could be bored at church or you could be
This is where I'm saying, like, if your team Nick, you just be like, what the hell are you talking about? And if your team I hate Nick, in that case, you can be like, oh my god, he's got the shakes and he's basically brought her there so that they can go have sex in the confessional. Like, and while the kids are waiting outside. Like that, that's the extremes that we're talking about here. And it's likely somewhere in between. I mean, like, as far as I think it's probably a lot closer towards the former, but
yeah. People I do that with my leg and I have ADHD. Yeah, we got some
I
knee
mean, we know he
shakers
has
in the chat.
narcolepsy. He's been telling me forever that he has narcolepsy. The first time I heard it, I thought that was hilarious. But it's something he's actually been diagnosed with, having narcolepsy. Maybe he's trying to stay awake. I don't know.
We've all fallen asleep at church.
Or maybe he really, really needs a hit because he hasn't had a hit in 20 minutes, and he really needs a hit, and he's a crazy drug addict. I can't deny the fact that that's a possibility. I'm simply brave enough to say I don't know.
Mhm.
That's really it. And for saying I don't know, I get, like, I don't know,
How
countless
dare
people
you?
saying you're nose guarding for saying you don't know. We do know, and I'm like, really? You know? How's that?
So the
How did you
four
come to know?
so four anonymous people made contact with the pastor and advised of the following information. I guess they have two homes within the property. A family had been staying in one of the home renting. They've now left. They did mention the relationship with Aaron and April, which is like, okay, yeah, how would they know that unless they're either watching the streams or they're all coming to church with them? I think it's the streams, and right. Other people have pointed out how boomer it is that they mention, like, oh, they're bloggers. They do they do blogging.
Mm.
um, let's see. The house was in disarray with clothes and other cluster items everywhere. Um, they mentioned the names of the boys and the girls. Right, like they've said, wearing the same clothing 3 to 4 days, starting to smell, which is
Mm.
heartbreaking. The younger children have
No,
advised
if it's
that they're
true, it's not just heartbreaking, it's inexcusable.
right.
It is. It's inexcusable. I mean, if that's the reality, if that is reality, then that's inexcusable. I'm not going to make excuses for that.
Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.